Hello, welcome everyone to the Sportswear live stream. I hope you're all doing well. Today we've got Zeeshan joining us for a special transfer update here. And we all know that January is usually a very busy month when it comes to transfers, when it comes to clubs making amends for how their mid-season has gone. But now is finally the time, 10 days into January. Zeeshan, how's everything looking? And first of all, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
I'm fine. All
Good, good. Yeah, so it's been a quiet window, I think, so far. Just Aston Villa making that marquee signing of Philippe Coutinho.
Yeah,
Um, but other than that, the top clubs are still working on transfers.
yeah, yeah. I know. I really didn't expect Aston Villa to make that marquee signing of Philippe Coutinho, but it just shows that clubs like Aston Villa and Newcastle might be onto something this window.
Say that again, sorry?
I'm saying that I actually didn't expect Aston Villa to make such a big signing of
Yeah.
Philippe Coutinho, but it just shows that clubs like Aston Villa and Newcastle might be onto something this transfer window.
Yeah, but we all know Aston Villa. They have the history. They're a top club, but they also have a rich owner. He's not. They're not a club who are owned by a small businessman. They're a very rich club, so they can afford the wages of a player like Coutinho. Um,
Yeah.
they can go in for players like Basuma, which they are at the moment. So yeah, Aston Villa, they might not have won many leagues, many trophies in the last decade or so, but they're still a top club and they run tremendously, I think.
Yeah, I think the recent thing which they all did was getting Steven Gerrard from Rangers. I think that was a very big move for the club because Steven Gerrard he was doing so well at Rangers. So for a club like Aston Villa to go and convince a manager who went unbeaten last season to come to their club mid-season after Dean Smith left. So I think that was a big move by the club, and it actually showed that they're on the right path, that they're ambitious about what they're trying to do. And I
Yeah.
think they've also reacted very well to the Grealish transfer, and they've made good use of the funds which they had.
Yeah, they have done, haven't they? So, yeah, that Grealish transfer, they didn't want to let him go, but when there's a release clause and someone like
Yeah,
City knocks on the door, it convinces both the player and the club. So it hasn't so far started this season. The Grealish transfer hasn't worked out for Aston Villa, having to sack Dean Smith at a poor run of results after they defeated Man United. It wasn't looking great for D Smith. But then getting someone like Steven Gerrard through the door, someone the players can look up to, know that he's a legend of the game. The way he plays his games, the way he speaks about football. Just his first interview for Aston Villa, the way he was convincing of his play style, he was convinced that he can turn this around for Aston Villa, and he's played a few games which he's won, but then he's lost two big clubs, so it's not like
yeah,
he's doing a terrible job. And now he's got two games again against
I guess
a
Manchester
really
United.
a really bad Manchester United. So
Yeah,
if there's any time for Gerrard to literally put his name above the lights at Aston Villa, it will be to get those wins against United. So let's see what happens.
yeah. I mean, look, I think it's gonna hurt Manchester United fans when I'm gonna say this, but United have been atrocious this season. We really thought that United was gonna get a new manager bounce with Rangnick coming in, but there's no bounce. It's flat. It couldn't be flatter. But the thing is, when you look at Manchester United, uh, the problem with me, which I personally face is that they're not really trying to adapt to the philosophy of someone like Ralph Rangnick, because there's actually no difference except for the fact that they're playing a 4-2-2-2 instead of a 4-2-3-1. The
Yeah,
players still don't know what to do. And someone like Steven Gerrard, who has been able to make players adapt to his philosophy during his first few weeks or months at Aston Villa, he's gonna feel like he's got a real chance to knock them out of the FA Cup, and then he's got a even better chance to defeat them in the league and just kind of end their top four hopes if he can. And he'll love it because he's a scouser, he's a proper
yeah,
scouser, he's a
yeah,
proper Liverpool legend. And nothing is gonna make him happier than just making United fans angry, sad, and just making them realize how bad a position they are in.
Yeah, exactly. If that does happen, he'll be catastrophic for Ralph Rangnick. The pressure will build up, especially from the United fans, having Steven Gerrard knocked them out of the FA Cup, especially since they need to win a trophy this season. For example, Ronaldo hasn't gone through a season without winning a trophy.
Yeah.
So you do that to Ronaldo, um, it kind of will put pressure on both Ronaldo, the players, but most importantly, the manager. Will the owners, will Richard Arnold being the new CEO of Man United now, will that put pressure on him? Will he think twice about the consultancy role that Ralph Rangnick has? I was hearing reports. I've not been told that they're true at the moment, but there may be issues going forward if this continues because Ralph Rangnick's consultancy role is now in jeopardy. But I don't know if those rumors are true. They've not been confirmed to me. But yeah, just reports that I've read. So maybe I might be late to that, but I don't think so. But let's see how it goes. There's definitely a shift in Manchester in Manchester at the moment. The way they're going about the club, getting football people involved, getting Darren Fletcher as a director, but then you see him on the pitch, so there's confusion as to what kind of director of football he is. But yeah, they've got Fletcher up there. They've now brought Ralph Rangnick, who will be in the boardroom meetings from next season onwards. So there's definitely things changing in Manchester at the moment. But yeah, let's just see how it goes.
Well, we've got a first question from Ashutosh. He's joined into the live stream. His question is something which every Barca fan wants to hear. Will Haaland really be in a Barca shirt this summer? I think that's what he means. And Zeeshan, you've been following Haaland pretty well, pretty
Yeah.
closely. Laporta has been quite confident about signing Haaland this summer. He said it out in the press, in the Spanish press. But do you really think Barcelona have the goods to get Haaland in the summer, despite losing out on the Champions League spot, which looks like a very good possibility right now?
Yeah, well, we know one thing about the Barcelona presidents before Laporte is that they are serial liars. So if he follows suit, he could be lying about the situation. But from what I understand, it's Real Madrid, PSG, United, and City that are involved in bringing Haaland in. But we could also see Barcelona bring him in. Look, they're a top club. They're still a top club, whether they've lost Messi, results haven't gone their way. They're still a top club. So if Barcelona can, I believe they're currently in talks about getting a loan. A lot of the Spanish giants are in talks about getting a loan, as the financial situation in Spain regarding football is not great at the moment. So if Barcelona do get the funds that you need to pay the player, pay Mino Raiola, and then pay Erling Haaland's father, it will be a lot of money, a lot of compensation involved. Um, if we take Erling Haaland out of the situation, Mino Raiola is guaranteed 20-30 million. Then the father would want the same. Now, when we talk about the father, right? If you think about it, that's really going to Haaland, Erling Haaland, because if when the father dies, that money is going straight down to Erling Haaland. So it's kind of a good way to get more money for the player is
Yeah.
to put it down in the books as that compensation is going to the father, where we all know in the future it'll be
it's
passed
it's
down
going to Erling
generation.
Haaland. But
Yeah.
regarding Erling Haaland, you've said Manchester City is there. You said Real Madrid is always there, and there's Iklavya asking us this question: that is there a possibility of Perez landing Haaland and Mbappe in the same summer window? Would Haaland really want to play alongside Kylian Mbappe, share a project with him, rather than be rivals and be leaders of their own separate projects?
Yeah, so from my understanding, months ago, was that Haaland's not he's not keen on playing alongside Kylian Mbappe, playing alongside another superstar, especially as the football generation now, they see those two players as the next Ronaldo and Messi, competing against each other. Yeah, Haaland's not convinced on playing alongside Mbappe, but he does eventually want to play for a club like Real Madrid, a top team in Spain, Madrid, Barcelona. So at the moment, Madrid's priority is getting Kylian Mbappe on that free deal. There are talks now involved with Mbappe's camp, Madrid, getting that pre-contract agreement completed. Let's see how that goes. But PSG do also want to tie Mbappe down, so it's going to be a fight for who can offer him the most. But we all know Mbappe wants Madrid. He's been flirting with Madrid for the last year and a half now. So as far as I'm aware, Haaland is not so keen on playing with Mbappe. But if there's anyone that can convince Haaland, it's Florentino Perez.
Yeah, so that's some good news for the Madrid fans who are
Yeah.
watching the stream or who are gonna watch the video later. But you know, you said two Manchester clubs, Manchester City and Manchester United. There's a huge difference right now. Manchester City looks like a proper football club with a proper vision. Someone who's on their way to their fourth title in 5 years, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And then you look at Manchester United, someone which is under construction, still trying to find their way. They've got Ronaldo back, so he's the face of the club. They've got Sancho this window. They've got Varane this window, and then they've got so many ongoing issues within the squad. You think Erling Haaland would even think about going to Manchester United at a time like this, where they might not even be in the top four next summer?
Yes, that will be a big issue when it comes to the summer. If United are not in the top four, I know that I know that will be a complete disaster if that was to happen. Players would want to leave, and also players would not want to join. Now, in terms of Erling Haaland, as we know, he's played for Dortmund, where they've not done great in the Champions League. So his next stage is to go to a team that are challenging for the leagues, challenging for Champions League medals. So in terms of United now, we all know Ralf Rangnick has an excellent relationship with the players' camp. Whether he can convince the player to be the face of Manchester United going forward, that's another question. But what we do know is Manchester United are involved. They are going to hold talks with Erling Haaland in the next months. And we do also know United always, more or less, offer a lot more money than the other clubs. So if it comes down to money, United will be at the forefront. But the relationship between Manchester United and Mino Raiola is, as everyone knows, it's not great at the moment, especially since Pogba joined. So it will be difficult to convince someone of Erling Haaland's stature to join the red side of Manchester. But if there's anyone that can throw a lot of money at a player, it's Manchester United. So it's going to be a great battle for the signature. So we'll see.
Yeah. As you see, the next question is on the screen. Abhay, who seems to be a Chelsea fan, is asking a question, which a lot of Chelsea fans are asking actually this window. They've been linked with Lucas Digne and other left backs. Right now, new rumors about Emerson and that they want him back from Olympique Lyon. Who is Chelsea targeting as a backup for the left wing back position?
Yeah, as of now, your information is correct. They are targeting Lucas Digne from Everton. I believe I don't have much sources within the Chelsea club, but the people that I do know around who report on Chelsea are pushing that Lucas Digne is close to joining Chelsea. So the player wants to go to move over to London. The player wants that move. It's just the matter of fact, can Chelsea convince Everton, and can they? And we all know they've convinced the player to join. But yeah, they need an agreement with Everton. So at the moment, it's not looking so great, that deal, but it can easily push through in the next few days.
All right, so that's some good news for the Chelsea fans because they'll definitely be missing Chilwell and they want to contest for the Champions League. They want to contest for the league title. So they're definitely going to need somebody in that position to fill up for Ben Chilwell. There's actually a very interesting question from someone in the comment section, and it's more of a fairy tale kind of thing. I didn't really pin that question onto the screen, but I'll pin it now. Will we see Messi back in a Barca shirt again?
Um, as far as I'm aware,
Tough to say.
it's tough to say. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there was a reason they had to get rid of Lionel Messi. The wage demands were too high. Um, yeah, so it will be tough to get him back, especially he's not been great in Paris, but we all know Lionel Messi. He's still going to be at the top. He's what, 34 now. Still got a
Yeah,
few.
34.
Yeah, he's still got a few more years left in him. If because Ronaldo was producing Champions Leagues at 34, winning the league with Madrid too. So if there's anyone that is going to lure Messi back, is going to sign Messi going forward, I believe his next step will be the MLS. So where there's huge amounts of money involved. So I think the Barcelona and Messi story has ended.
Yeah. A lot of Madrid fans also ask about Cristiano Ronaldo. There's absolutely no chance of him going back to Madrid either, is there?
I've heard whispers about a George Mendes informing United that if Ronaldo was not to be playing Champions League football next season, there could be a chance he would look at other clubs. But that's more coming from the agent. But we do know the player respects George Mendes highly. So
Yeah.
if George Mendes informs Ronaldo that the best chapter next is to go to a club that are competing in the Champions League, and if Madrid do want to get involved, at the moment there's nothing to suggest that they will. But I think that's more of a possibility. Seeing that happen, than there is Messi playing for Barcelona.
Going back to Barcelona.
Yeah.
But since we're sticking around this Cristiano Ronaldo topic, there have been news saying that he's fully committed to Manchester United this
Yeah.
season, and that he's not thinking about leaving. He doesn't want to leave. Fabrizio Romano came out and said even if they miss out on the Champions League, he won't leave, or he's not thinking about leaving. But we all know that in football things change within weeks. They change within days. People thought he wasn't really going to leave Juventus, but then he did. So
Exactly.
let's just say if the question or the situation arises that Manchester United don't make it to the Champions League
Mm.
and Cristiano Ronaldo does decide to leave at the age of 37, who's going to be the possible suitor for him? Who's going to be the club who would be willing to pay his salary, willing to integrate him into a team, and then willing to make him their star man for a year or two or whatever he's got left in him?
At the moment, there's no clubs that are in contact with either Manchester United or George Mendes. But in regards to Romano stating that information, I will. It's not nice to say, but I wouldn't listen to Romano when it comes to Ronaldo news. Just because the information that he's stated on Ronaldo previously has not been amazing. But yeah, what I've heard is George Mendes has informed United if top four is not achieved at the end of the season, there's a possibility Ronaldo can leave. And there's no clubs at the moment that are in contact with George Mendes. But who wouldn't want to sign Ronaldo? Obviously, he's still scoring the goals, 6 goals, I believe, in 6 goals in
Five
maybe
games,
5
five
games, yeah,
games in the
in the
Champions League.
Champions League, yeah, and then he's got a few in the league as well. So he's United's top scorer. He's since joining, he's Juventus top scorer this season, and he left in September. He's a record goal scorer in the Champions League. So I still think Ronaldo can play until he's 40, but he would need to play in a side that can carry at least one passenger. Maybe Madrid can't afford to risk that, because the way they play now is more of a Juventus side back in 2015 when they were reaching Champions League finals. They play more as a team, whereas Ronaldo, you would need, when Ronaldo plays, he can't press as hard, he can't get around the field, but he's quick in those 5-10 yard gaps, getting in behind quick. So it would need to be a team who are willing to carry at least one passenger. Now, I believe that team is City, that can do that. But we all know Ronaldo won't be heading to City anytime soon, especially after he snubbed them in the summer. So at the moment, if there's any information going forward in clubs contacting George Mendes, I will definitely inform all you guys.
All right, all right. Moving on from Ronaldo, interesting topic here. Matthias de Ligt not getting a lot of play time at Juventus. Allegri still going with the old centre back pairing of Bonucci and Chiellini, despite the fact that they're both 35 and 36 respectively. Do you think Mino Raiola will be looking at clubs in the summer for Matthias de Ligt, and just to make sure that he gets a new opportunity in some other league or in some other club? Do you think there will be possible suitors for him?
Yeah, I think there'll be many possible suitors. He's a young centre back. He hasn't had a great time in Italy, but he he's done okay. He hasn't been great, but yeah, the game time is getting less and less as the games go on. So will the player want to leave? As far as I'm aware, the player's not thinking about anywhere else at the moment. Mino Raiola can obviously persuade him to move on, especially when he knows that defender will generate him a lot of money too. Um, so at the moment, there's no one involved for De Ligt. I think the best thing for De Ligt right now is to stay at Juventus, especially since we know Chiellini will be retiring, Bonucci will be retiring, the legends of Juventus. Even though Bonucci, we know, went to AC Milan a couple of years ago, he's still considered a legend at Juventus. So I think De Ligt, the best opportunity for him to get even better is to keep progressing at Juventus. He's still young and still one of the top defenders around.
All right. A lot of questions arising regarding Paul Pogba. I think there was a new rumor that he's going to be made the most expensive or the most well-paid player in the Premier League, but then his agent came out and denied it. But there are still no signs of him extending the contract. So Abhijay here is asking us: is Pogba to Real a real possibility?
Yeah, so as far as I'm aware from the United side of things, there's not been no hints from Pogba's camp to United that he will be signing a new contract. So the clubs that are involved in bringing Pogba are the same clubs that wanted him a couple of years ago: Real Madrid, PSG. That the story between Juventus and Pogba is also a possibility, but especially since the Italian I can't forgot what they call the Italian, let's say the finance regulators in Italy
Yeah.
have been looking at Juventus's books. It could be a case of not signing someone like Pogba at the moment just to stay away from the limelight in regards to the financial regulators. So Pogba to Real Madrid is a possibility, and I do understand that Florentino Perez did want to create that trio of Benzema, Mbappe, and Pogba going forward. But yeah, maybe Mbappe and Pogba is something that Florentino Perez can do instead of Mbappe and Haaland. But yeah, it would be for personally for me as a United fan, it would be quite sad to see someone like Pogba leave, even though he hasn't been great. But yeah, we will see.
Yeah.
But
All right.
from what I know, he hasn't given any hints to United to the manager that he will be signing that new contract. So
All right. So the next question from Eklavya, quite an interesting one. We saw Newcastle join, you know, Newcastle join in the race for Trippier. They got him before Manchester United. They got him before all the other suitors. Newcastle have got the pull. They've got the money, but they don't have the league position. So what is going to be the transfer strategy for Newcastle United going forward for the rest of the month?
yeah, so whenever there's a player wanting to leave a club, there's always rumours of Newcastle United being interested. Um, so the strategy for Newcastle is to get those players that have won stuff elsewhere, that have been in this situation,
Mhm.
in a relegation battle. Um, Kieran Trippier has won La Liga in Atletico Madrid. He was cornerstone of the England World Cup squad. Um, So I believe that signing is great, even though they did lose to Cambridge last night. Newcastle United strategy is to just get as many good players as they can, because at the moment that squad needs a centre back. That squad needs a fullback. So on the other side, Kieran Trippier is a good signing, but yeah, I believe at the moment they need a midfielder, a centre back, and at least a left back. So there's always going to be a player involved with Newcastle, especially since the money they can offer. But yeah, in terms of Trippier, I know that Ralph Rangnick was not interested in signing the player this January, but yeah, he was on the shortlist for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he was at United. So it will be
Yeah,
great to see Newcastle.
Another big transfer which we might be looking at in the recent future.
Yeah.
Will Declan Rice be a hot property in this transfer window? I think that's what Pratik wants to ask. Can we see Declan Rice moving elsewhere in January? Because I
Mhm.
personally don't think so, because West Ham is doing great. But
No.
probably in the summer.
Yeah. There's definitely something to be said about the summer, but in terms of January, David Moyes, as far as I'm aware, would not let his captain leave, especially as they're really in the mix for the top four now. So yeah, as far as I'm aware, seeing Declan Rice at another club during the season is far from happening. But yeah, the clubs involved with Declan Rice would be City, Chelsea, as far as I'm aware, bringing him to the club in summer 2022. But yeah, nothing
All
in
right.
this transfer window.
Sai Shashank asks us, any chance for a CDM or CDM joining United in this window?
Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, United, even though reports have been saying that they don't want to sign a player, as far as I'm aware, Ralph Rangnick does at least want one signing, and that is a midfield position. Now, signing someone in January is one of the toughest things to do, especially when they're tied down to contracts. But as far as I'm aware, Kamara, Zakaria, you have Ruben Neves. They're all genuine interest, and they're all being tracked by Ralph Rangnick, and he's informed United to ask the clubs about those signings. But it will be like I said, January, getting people signed in January is tough, because you don't want to let. So, for example, Wolves want to let Ruben Neves go in January, especially after the great performance he just put at Old Trafford. If the right bid came through, yeah, because he was available in the summer for around 35 million, but now it would take a fee of 50 million or even more from United. And as far as I'm aware, the budget is around that mark, 50-55 million. But let's see how it goes. Like I said, it's hard for a team to bring in someone during January, but yeah, they definitely want a centre mid. But we'll have to see how that plays
Hey
out.
Abhijay, just read your question regarding Messi coming back to Barcelona. We just discussed that previously, so I'm just gonna put it out for you. There's absolutely no chance of him coming back as of now. And Zeeshan mentioned that his next destination is more likely to be the MLS or probably some other club, but Barcelona really not on the radar. But for Real Madrid fans, I'm just gonna use Zeeshan on this one. There is a chance to see Ronaldo back more than a chance to see Messi back. So
Slim
if you
chance.
guys wanna go home and slim chance, but there's
Yeah.
a chance. So if you guys wanna go home and sleep well, dream of Mbappe, Vinicius, and Ronaldo together, feel free to do so. We've given you the right to dream, but we're not giving you anything else on that. Other than that, we've got Bissouma transfer rumors. Bissouma on the radar of Aston Villa.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, I mentioned it earlier on the stream. A club like Aston Villa has the financial backing to bring these kind of players in. Like I said, even bringing in Basuma, similar to the Ruben Neves situation at Wolves, you don't want to lose one of your best midfielders during the season. But if the right amount is submitted to Brighton by Aston Villa, somewhere upwards of 35 million, then yeah, there is a possible chance of Basuma leaving Brighton to join Aston Villa. But as far as I'm aware, there's not been no bid on the table yet. It's just genuine interest. And Gerard so far has done things a bit. He's been a bit naughty in regards to the transfer window. The way he's spoken to Coutinho first, that it's becoming a new strategy for clubs. It's speaking to the player first, even though they're under contract with a club. speaking to the player first, getting their thoughts, agreeing like a draft proposal. It's what Real Madrid and Mbappe did last summer, and then Real Madrid tried to convince Mbappe to join. Tried to convince PSG with a huge offer of 120 plus million. Yeah, it's becoming more of a thing now of the manager speaking to the player that they want. Even though we see them in the press conference saying, "I won't be speaking to about players when they're under contract at different clubs," it definitely happens. So yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's no bid on the table, but the interest is genuine from Aston Villa.
Well, we've got a really insightful question here for you. What's the favorite transfer you've covered in your career so far, Zeeshan?
Um,
There've been quite a few. Which one's
yeah,
your favorite?
for me, it was Jack Grealish to City. So yeah, I had information coming in from Villa, more than the City side, but yeah, as I was getting information from the Jack Grealish deal, I was putting that out there. People weren't believing me. Then it went through. Then I had the medical date. I had the medical date confirmed. But yeah, transfers are weird because, like we've seen with Ronaldo, like we see all the time, things can change in 24 hours. So it's hard when you're putting out when I'm putting out the information I get. It's hard to make sure that it's 100% correct because, like I said, things can change. There could be a better offer on the table from a different club. But yeah, the favorite transfer I've covered so far has been Jack Grealish.
All right. Sham is here to ask us, Mbappe joined Real Madrid. I think he probably means, is there a chance for him to sign a pre-contract in January? Without
Yeah,
an official announcement, because we discussed this earlier, there probably won't be an official announcement.
yeah.
But is there a chance for him to sign a pre-contract right now?
Yeah, well, we all know he had a verbal agreement with Madrid last summer. Whether he has a verbal agreement now, maybe that's the case. Maybe he'll want more money, but yeah, as far as I'm aware, they are working on a pre-contract agreement. I've heard rumors that they're not because of this Champions League tie that's coming up in end of February, March time. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, they are still working on that pre-contract agreement. Mbappe wants Madrid more so than ever, and yeah, it will more or less be done in summer 2022.
Thank you, Sham, for joining in from Nepal. I hope you're enjoying the live stream. And if you've got any more questions for Real Madrid, please drop them in below. We'll make sure to address them. Origi could be on his way out of Liverpool.
I've not been told anything in regards to that, especially since Salah and Mane and Keita have joined their respective countries for the AFCON tournament. So, as far as I'm aware, Origi won't be on his way out of Liverpool this January. Uh, maybe in the summer he'll push for more game time outside of Anfield.
I know you had a stream regarding this on your Twitch channel a few days ago, but Anmol here is asking us, is the rift between Ronaldo and Maguire true?
It's not more so of a rift. It happens in all clubs. Look, there's groups in all clubs. Said it in my stream. The Portuguese, Brazilian players like to be together. They all speak the same language. The English players like to be with the English players. It's been reported, and like I said in my stream, a lot of the reports from the Daily Mail, Daily Mirror, even the Sun have been escalated. I also broke the news that Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, Maguire, the English clique were unhappy. Not unhappy, I'd say. They were criticised by Ronaldo, and they felt the criticism wasn't correct. But as far as I'm aware, there's no huge rift between the captain and Cristiano Ronaldo. There's just, if someone was to criticise you, if you've played the game, it always happens in changing rooms. People behind closed doors, they will blame one another, and it's happened at Old Trafford. It's happened more so, especially in the last few months, especially during the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer reign. Now there's a leadership change going on at Old Trafford. Players did look to Harry Maguire, especially the English players, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Rashford. That Maguire was leading the pack, even though you might not say he was leading the pack on the field. But if, for example, if you look at last season, Harry Maguire before his injury at Villa Park was a top defender for United last season. They were in the title race right up until January. So he was a top player. He was leading the line. He's leading the back line. So as soon as Ronaldo came, things changed. Other players like the Brunos were like the Teles, Dallo were speaking to Ronaldo more. Even Rashford, Sancho. I understand Sancho, Ronaldo have a great relationship. It's just because people see Ronaldo more of a leader than Harry Maguire, and you would, but Maguire just feels slightly threatened in his position. But there's no, it's not a big deal. It was just slightly overblown in the media reports.
You also said something about a captaincy change and Ronaldo suggesting a captaincy change. Are we going to see that in the near future? Because Maguire just put out an interview stating that he's going to continue as captain indirectly. So, any chance Ralph Rangnick is going to change the captaincy for Manchester
Yeah,
United, probably hand it to David De Gea or Cristiano?
like I said, in that tweet, Ronaldo has proposed. He's proposed a captaincy change, and he's proposed it because he wants to take the pressure off Harry Maguire. Shows you what kind of leader he is. Um, he, he he sees that armband as a lot of pressure, especially for Maguire at the moment. So he did propose that. As far as I'm aware, I've not been told if that will be happening. Ralph Rangnick is someone who likes his captain to be an outfield player, so I think you can take De Gea out of that. Then your next options are the Ronaldos, the Matic, McTominays of Manchester United. So let's see how that goes. But as far as I'm aware, there's not been no captaincy change now. It's just been proposed by Ronaldo to take the pressure off Harry Maguire.
Okay, Clever's got another interesting question. He's really digging these questions up for you. Do you think Neymar's transfer to PSG affected the market and players are now being overvalued? Case in point, Grealish and Osman Dembele.
Yeah, 100%. So I think it first happened when Ronaldo joined Madrid for 80 million. We were seeing the ballpoint was around 50 million for transfers, but we seen the 100 million euro bid from Madrid to Ronaldo. I think that's what really changed the transfer market, the football world. Then we seen Bale a couple of seasons after join for an even bigger fee than Ronaldo's, and then obviously we've seen the Coutinho, the Neymar, the Dembele's. Players now being overvalued. Case in point, really. In Grealish's terms, when you have a release clause, it's a release clause, and yeah, it was a high release clause, but at that moment, it looked like a great signing. And City players usually, when they do join the club, have a poor first season, and then they really kick on in the second season. So I think saying Grealish is overvalued, I can't agree with that at the moment. But yeah, in terms of Ousmane Dembele, he was great for Dortmund. He was an amazing player, left-footed, right-footed. You just couldn't control him. But then obviously the over bid from Barcelona. I can't remember how much it was, but it's more than 120 million, if I'm correct. Yeah, it's definitely changed. But yeah, the football world is getting even bigger and even bigger.
Yeah, all right. Sai has got another question. Wilshere joining Arsenal on a short-term contract anytime soon?
Yeah, so I've heard about this happening since last summer. Really, it hasn't happened yet. He's training. I believe he's training with the squad. But yeah, I've not heard anything of this being correct so far. So if there is anything in terms of Arsenal at the moment, they're very active in the transfer market. They want a midfielder and they do want a striker. So if they're looking out for a midfielder and it doesn't happen, maybe Jack Wilshere is the backup plan.
Yeah, probably. But Arsenal are also having troubles in the striking department, and they're waiting for a bid for Aubameyang. They're
Yeah,
waiting if they're getting something from any clubs. And we heard that Vlahovic is closest to Arsenal right now.
yeah.
But the agent is not clearly on board. So can you just go into the depth of the situation, because he's a very important player, and if he comes to Arsenal, then definitely a lot of things will change for the club and for the team.
Yeah, so Dusan Vlahovic, he's a great player. He's just matched the Cristiano Ronaldo record of most calendar goals he's scored in
Yeah.
1 year in Serie A. Great player, 21 years of age. As far as I'm aware, Mikel Arteta is doing everything to convince the player to join Arsenal. I also understand that Fiorentina would more or less like to sell him to a Premier League club like Arsenal instead of the Serie A rivals like Juventus, Milan. So yeah, so there's a real possibility of Vlahovic joining the club joining the club this January. Arteta's put a draft proposal contract there, big fee, a big salary, and the fee won't be a problem. It's looking to be around 60 million euros for the striker. So yeah, Arsenal are definitely in number one pole position to land the signature of Dusan Vlahovic.
Eklavya with another question. If City fail to win the Champions League this time, is time up for Pep Guardiola at City? A very interesting question, because I think Pep Guardiola pointed out in the press conference that he doesn't really want to be here forever.
Yeah, it's true. He doesn't really want to be here forever. Similarly to Jurgen Klopp, in terms of Pep Guardiola, ESPN Brazil did report in the summer that Pep Guardiola would be leaving us. I remember them saying 2023. And then Pep Guardiola came out and said that was rubbish. But yeah, it is true. Pep Guardiola won't be at City forever. And there is definitely a chance of Pep Guardiola leaving. I don't believe it will be anytime soon. Maybe in the next maybe in the 3-4 year period from now. He may look to move on, maybe take a break. He took a break after Barcelona. So yeah, there is every possibility. But in terms of failing to win the Champions League, I believe if he fails to win the Champions League, he'll stay. If he wins the Champions League, that's when he'll probably think, okay, I've done everything I can here. Yeah, I think failing to win the Champions League is more for someone like Pep Guardiola is more of a reason to stay at a club.
Sashank with another question. And Ndombele situation at Tottenham. Any chance United can go for him?
No, there's no chance of United going for Ndombele.
All right, I think that's sorted.
Yeah.
But I had a personal question. Robert Lewandowski doesn't really seem to be keen on staying at Bayern Munich. He's not really signed a new contract. Could that be a developing situation in the summer? And if yes, then which clubs do you think are going to keep a keen eye on Robert Lewandowski? Because we all know he scored 70 goals last season.
Yeah. In terms of Robert Lewandowski, it's happened for the last 2, 3, 4, even 4 seasons now. Every summer, there's a slight chance of him leaving Bayern Munich, but he always tends to stay at the club. He does great at the club. He loves the city. He loves his family. Loves the city. He's raised his family there. In terms of what clubs would be involved, Pep Guardiola has a great relationship with Lewandowski. Nothing to suggest he's on their transfer list. But yeah, Lewandowski's been admired by Real Madrid. Florentino Perez tried to bring him in when Benzema was going through that bad patch of spell in 2015, 2016. So there's every chance Madrid will be looking at Lewandowski. But yeah, he's coming to the twilight of his career. Maybe a Premier League side, maybe even one of the Madrid Barcelonas. But yeah, it would obviously be all up to Lewandowski. Bayern Munich don't want to sell him. Julian Nagelsmann loves the player. So as far as I'm aware, he won't be leaving this summer. But maybe it can happen. Let's see how that pans out.
Yeah, just a few more questions before we wrap the stream up. Sai Shank is asking, is Eric Ten Hag or Pochettino who's leading the race to become the next manager at United? Because a lot of reports are stating that Pochettino is leading the race. Zidane could be going to PSG. And Eric Ten Hag, there's not really anything in it for him right now. I mean, not heard a lot of news, but I've heard information from you which contradicts the news which is coming out from the mainstream media. So which one to go for? What's the real situation?
So in terms of the situation at Manchester United, Ralph Rangnick will be given a chance this in the next 6 months, and whether he doesn't want, if he says no, I want to go up to the consultancy role, that will be his choice. And if he does, I've been told information that his main choice will be Eric Ten Hag, and that Pochettino would not be an option in terms of Ralph Rangnick suggesting a manager. Like we all know, I reported it when Solskjaer was getting sacked that Pochettino is really admired by especially the Glazers. In terms of Pochettino leaving, a lot of these reports have been put out there by the French media. Now the French media are trying to get Zidane really into that PSG role, and we all know that the media plays a part in what happens in football. They report based on what some of the clubs want, and And yeah, PSG and Zidane is a huge possibility of happening. But at the moment, they've stuck with Pochettino. Even though the results haven't been great, they still lead the league. They didn't win the league last season, so that's a plus. Pochettino seems to be happy at PSG, and yeah, as far as I'm aware, Pochettino is not an option, as Ralph Rangnick would prefer Eric Ten Hag to join the club in the summer.
All right. That's all for Manchester United fans. Eklavya again, another interesting question. After having terrible seasons managing Middlesbrough and getting relegated,
Hmm.
Southgate was handed the England job. Do you think he's the right man despite a terrible CV? Tell me, Zeeshan, are you an English fan? Do you support England?
Yeah, I love England.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
How happy are you with Southgate?
Honestly, I'm pretty happy. I like the system he plays. I like the players he plays. I, I don't understand the hate he gets. He's he's done the best. If you look at the England managers down the line, he's done the best since we won the World Cup in '66. If that's not facts, then I don't know what is. He's been in the World Cup semi-finals. He lost the Euro finals on penalties. So he's done amazing. I think I love the fact that he doesn't get drawn into picking players the media suggest. I remember during the Euros that everyone was against Sterling. He went for Sterling. He backed Sterling, and he was one of the best players in the tournament. So yeah, I'm happy with Southgate on a personal level, and yeah, I do think he's the right man because despite a terrible CV, yeah, that was at Middlesbrough, but his CV right now is semi-finalist with England, and now Euro finalists. Now, can they kick on in the next World Cup and maybe get to a final? I think he's doing a great job. So I don't think he's got. I think yeah, he's the that question. He's the right man.
All right, Zishan, I've got two personal questions from you, and then I think we'll be looking to wrap up the stream. It's been 47 minutes here. I'm not going to keep you for too long. But one of the questions has been put out by a lot of Manchester United, a lot of Portugal fans, a lot of Ronaldo fans.
Yeah.
If Portugal fail to make it to the World Cup, is Cristiano Ronaldo going to consider retirement from the international stage? If they fail to make it, if Italy go
Um,
through and they don't,
it's a great
is he
question.
is he gonna consider retirement, or is he gonna wait it out till 2024? And then there's another situations which has added on top of that. If United don't make it into the top four and Portugal don't make it to the World Cup, could he be hanging his boots and be like, all right, I'm done, you forced me into retirement, you both have done enough?
That would be the most terrible season for a player for someone like Ronaldo, I've probably ever seen or even thought about. So yeah, as far as I'm aware, in terms of retirement, I've got no information on that. No, nothing coming out of Ronaldo's camp to suggest that Ronaldo even is considering retiring for Portugal. His mindset is on getting his Portugal side to beat Italy in that. If Italy obviously beat who can't remember who they're playing, but Portugal are playing Turkey.
San Marino. They'll
That's
beat San Marino.
they'll beat San Marino. Okay, is it San Marino?
Yeah, it's San Marino.
San Marino in the
It's
World.
San Marino. No, it's not San Marino.
I
I
don't
think
think it's
it's
San Marino.
I,
I'm
I
sure
I think it's
Portugal are
someone
playing
else.
Turkey, right?
Yeah, Portugal are playing Turkey.
I'm sure it's not San Marino would not be in the World Cup qualifiers.
Let me just see. Italy are gonna be facing. Wait up. I think it's gonna be the new side which came in during the Euros as well. North Macedonia. I think they
Yeah,
can beat North Macedonia.
yeah. They're well. You never know what can happen. Yeah, North Macedonia. Yeah, I think they'll beat them. But then the big game would be Portugal, Italy. He's focused on that, as far as I'm aware. He's focused on getting his team to the World Cup, and he's not considering retirement. And yeah, your other question in regards to United not getting top four, like I've said, it's not Ronaldo that's considering it, but your Jorge Mendes, his agent would advise the player on moving on if there's no Champions League being played at Manchester United next season. And obviously, we all know how much of an impact Jorge Mendes has had on the career of Cristiano Ronaldo. So I'm sure the player would listen to the agent.
Yep, yep. So If there's a chance to go anywhere, we already talked about it. He needs to go to a team which is ready to compete, and then there are only a few sides in Europe who are ready to compete right now.
Maybe
So
when you think about it, maybe Bayern Munich, if they were to let Lewandowski leave.
a be a dream come true. All five leagues.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
yeah, that would be a great scenario. I think. I think he should have gone to Bayern Munich in the first place after leaving Real Madrid, but went to Juventus, questionable choice.
Mm.
And then now he had the chance to go to City. I personally would have hated it, but now that I look at what United is doing, I'm probably like, brother, you should have gone to City. You
Yeah.
just walked all over your career. Your career after 33 is all about bad choices, nothing else. But before we end the stream, I remember during the time of the Ballon d'Or, there was a stream which you did privately regarding FIFA, regarding the winners and what was going to happen, and just having some input, even though you didn't really reveal the winner, but having some input regarding what was going on in the FIFA Ballon d'Or and whatever was going on behind the scenes. FIFA the best next weekend. You got something for us there, Z?
Just the fact that Lewandowski is leading the race. I believe he's leading the race on votes. The voting, I believe, is closed. I don't have no information on the winner. I never rarely get any information in regards to those things about awards or anything. So yeah, if personally, if I was to give it anyone, it would be Lewandowski. He was robbed of the Ballon d'Or. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, what I've been told by other sources is that Robert Lewandowski will be leading the line to win the FIFA Best Award.
No more Salah. No more Salah, huh? I don't
Uh,
know how he made it into the top three. I'll be very honest with you, because
yeah,
that's where you doubt these things. If Mo Salah has made it on the basis of how good he's been this season, then Messi shouldn't be there.
yeah,
And if Messi is there on the basis of how good he was last season, then Mo Salah shouldn't be there. If
yeah.
anybody else, then like someone like Mbappe, Benzema, or Ronaldo or Jorginho should be there in third place.
Yeah,
So
well,
you really don't know how Mo Salah is
you
gonna, he's
you
just
don't know how
forced
it's
his
gonna
way in.
you don't know how it's gonna go, but we do know that the best award is not as corrupt as the Ballon d'Or award. So at least we know that. Maybe it'll get even more corrupt as the years go on. But yeah, at the moment, the best award's been. I think it's been a good. The way they've done it has been tremendous. So yeah, seeing Mo Salah in the top three. Look, people may have different opinions, but I believe Jorginho was in the top three of the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. Even though Jorginho had a great year, won the Euros, won the Champions League, he should not be considered as one of the best players of a year, of a calendar year. But yeah, Mo Salah, I believe it is maybe right in being in that top three. And yeah, Lewandowski. I have different opinions on Lionel Messi being in that top three, but it's Lionel Messi. It's Lionel Messi. Either
Well,
Lionel Messi or Ronaldo should be in the top three of any award.
but that's what I don't get. If
Yeah,
Lionel Messi is getting the special preferential treatment from all these award ceremonies and whatever, regardless of whatever he does on the pitch, why isn't Ronaldo getting the same treatment?
yeah,
Why is he
exactly.
sixth in the Ballon d'Or race and then in the World 11, in the nominations for the World 11 at FIFA the best, of which Mo Salah is not a part.
Mm.
But then he's not there in the top three for the best.
Yeah, he's just yeah. For me, I
And
think Ronaldo.
mind you, for whoever is a Messi fan right now, he scored more goals than Messi this season,
Yeah,
this year, this whole year, in fact.
that's what I was just gonna say. In terms of the year, Ronaldo's has had a great year. In comparison to Messi, Messi had a great tournament in the Copa America, and that's weighed heavily on the fact that he's been involved in the best award and now, sorry, he'd been involved in the Ballon d'Or and now the best award. So yeah, we all know this favoritism towards Lionel Messi, by FIFA, by UEFA. He's seen as a role model to younger kids. The way he goes about his life, the way he's not seen at on the red carpet, stuff like that. He's just seen as more or less a family man. Um, Ronaldo's had kids with other women. He's had now he's got a girlfriend. I think Messi, I believe, is married. I'm not too sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
Messi.
I think.
Yeah, it's just these kind of things. FIFA, UEFA, they've been pushing for Messi to be the face of football, and we all know why. It's for these little things that happen. Even when the FIFA president put out that statement about Ronaldo um, being like a sergeant, I believe he said, on the
Yeah.
pitch during his Madrid days, um, being commanding. So yeah, there's always some sort of hatred towards Ronaldo from the top people in football.
I think it really tipped Ronaldo off when the France football editor came out and said that his only obsession is
Mm,
getting more Ballon d'Ors than Messi,
yeah,
and then that whole factors thing happened right after the ceremony. So I
yeah,
think it's tipped him off this time around.
yeah, definitely. So maybe we will never see Ronaldo in those awards ever again, especially after he called out one of the main people in the France football industry. So yeah, it will be great to see. But hopefully Ronaldo wins the Champions League with United, and we'll see him winning the Ballon d'Or again.
Yeah, see, the standards are always different. The last two Ballon d'Ors that Lionel Messi has won, he hasn't even gone close to touching the Champions
Touch the
League.
Champions League, yeah,
But for
yeah.
Ronaldo, somehow he needs to win the Champions League. He needs to be the top scorer, and then he needs to have a great international tournament. If any of one of those three things misses out, then they'll give it to someone else. We saw it with Luka Modric, and that brings us to the fact that Iklavya is asking us, and he's probably stating it, that Jorginho in the top three is a bigger robbery than Messi and the Ballon d'Or. And I
Mm,
personally don't agree. I think Jorginho, whoever the hell can be in the top three, but how can you not give it to a guy who scored 69 goals in a year?
yeah, yeah,
How can you
exactly,
not give it to a guy and how can you give it to a guy who scored one goal in 11 games? That's
exactly.
that's the bigger thing for me. Like, all right, bring on the hate, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But a lot of in terms of Ballon d'Or, we know it's corrupt. There's a lot of corrupt journalists that get involved in the voting schemes. So we know it is a corrupt award, especially in the last few years. Um, a lot of these journalists from all over the world don't even get to watch football regularly. Don't even get to watch other clubs. But yeah, they hear the words Messi, Ronaldo. They know who they are. So yeah, a lot of corrupt journalists, and yeah, that's all I'd say at the moment on that.
All right. Thank you so much, Zeeshan, for joining us in this live stream. It's been a very fruitful session. We've answered a lot of questions.
Yeah.
To everyone who watched the live stream, thank you for joining in. We'll be doing a lot more of these during the transfer window in January. So make sure that you have a free schedule every Sunday so that you can tune in, join Zeeshan, ask your questions. And the link to Zeeshan's profile on Twitter is in the description. Please go on, follow him for regular updates regarding your favorite club, your favorite transfers, and make sure to push the notification button on. As for us, please make sure that you are actively watching our videos, subscribing, and liking our channel. We're trying to bring the best content as always. And Iklavya says, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful questions as well, Iklavya.
Yeah.
Really, some of them were spot on. And I think that'll be that. Everyone take care during these tough times, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you guys. Been a pleasure.